E3 2018 has officially begun, and EA went first this afternoon with their EA Play press conference. Here are the top 5 moments from the first press conference of E3 2018. What's going on, everybody? It's Ghost Robo, and this list was fairly easy to make, although the pickings were a bit slim. It was a slightly odd conference that opened with the announcement of Battlefield Battle Royale, and then kind of dropped Battlefield. There wasn't much there, and outside of the spoken words, Battlefield Battle Royale, destruction, and vehicles, we got nothing to go on. So even though that was a really cool moment, I felt like it couldn't be included in the list because it's such a generic point. Yay, Battle Royale. When, how many players, what's going on, no footage later in the year. Okay, we'll see more Battlefield 5 at Microsoft's press conference, but in the meantime, number 5 is Sea of Solitude. This is their new EA original launching in 2019. It's got a very cool vibe reminding me of Limbo and Inside, except this time rather than side-scrolling, it is fully 3D, but it maintains that sort of dark, moody platforming aesthetic, and it's about when you're lonely and when you're sad, you kind of turn into a monster. It's a very emotional game, and it looks to have a really great vibe. I cannot wait to play it, and it was just really cool to see the developer get up on stage and be so flustered, so nervous, but also so excited and just have a really genuine E3 moment. Number 4 is actually Star Wars Battlefront 2, and they did apologize again, which is great, but the moment here is that the game is getting General Grievous. For me, this is super exciting, and even if you're off of Battlefront 2 already, this is the guy I've wanted since the games came back. I think he's awesome. I hope he plays awesome. They're also bringing in Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Count Dooku, the largest map ever, and this Clone Wars pack is shaping up to be pretty cool. They say they'll discuss more at the end of the month. Hopefully it releases soon, and hopefully they can get this game back off the ground in order to prep the engines for the eventual Battlefront 3. Number 3 is Unravel 2, announced and out now. The game was already leaked, so we knew it was coming, but we did not know it would hit the digital stores today on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And at first I was like, okay, it's Unravel 2, Yarny is back, but the dual yarn action, the co-op action, makes this game a whole lot cooler. I've been playing it. It's awesome. I really like the puzzles. They hit that perfect spot of being challenging and requiring a little bit of mental effort, but not slowing your progress to a halt. I think the game hits a real nice sweet spot. It's got a great aesthetic and a good, cheery vibe with some weird, ghostly children kind of guiding the plot. And you can play it with a friend or play it solo, controlling both. Either way is awesome, and I'm happy that Yarny's back. I like the game. I didn't know I wanted it, but I do, and I'm glad that it's out today. Number 2 is the Anthem reveal, the release date, and the unveiling of more details. Before the show, I surely thought this would be number 1. I really wanted it to take the top spot, but they just didn't show enough. We learned that the game comes out in about 8 months, February 22nd, 2019, which gets a big thumbs up from me. And we also learned that the overarching structure of the game exists within 4 Javelin suits that are the 4 classes you'll be playing. And you may play all 4 because you can switch out suits and change classes depending on what mission you're taking and what multiplayer group you're a part of. I think that's a really cool idea, and as long as there's depth there, we'll add a lot of variety. But I can't see some people being bummed that you're not dedicating and committing yourself to one set class. Now, we also saw how large this game appears to be. The vastness of the environments is really impressive. You are traversing great distances via air, via ground, and via water. I like that a lot, and I think it adds a new feel and flair to the gameplay, that so much of it takes place at range and so much of it takes place through movement. The enemies also looked really cool and at times really big. We don't know how much variety there is, how many planets, or how big this planet is. I kind of wish they would have just gone bullet pointed and kind of hit on some of the features of this game. They kept it so broad stroke. It was a bit odd to me for the coming out party of your biggest game, especially given the light load that the rest of the conference was. I just felt like EA would show more, and I'm feeling a lot like I did when Destiny 1 was revealed, where the promise is there, the potential is there, it definitely could be awesome. And they're saying the right things about the story in terms of bringing choice and decision and conversation into the single-player hubs while the looting and shooting takes place in the multiplayer overworld. But it could go either way. I want to see that stuff. I want to witness it. I want to watch it in action. And while they did say there's a little bit of a longer demo on the show floor at their theater, I don't feel like it's enough. And I'm sure they have a great plan to unveil and reveal information along the way as we lead up to launch, but this was a chance to really make a major mark. And while the game looks super cool, I like the suits, I like the scope and the size and the scale and the emphasis on movement and flying around and hubs with story. They're saying the right things, and BioWare can bring their bread and butter here and deliver a truly dynamic experience that merges single-player storytelling with multiplayer looting and shooting, but I just want to see more of it. And that's why it's number 2. That leaves number 1, and that is going to be Star Wars Jedi Last Order. Now, they didn't show anything here, so maybe it wasn't that high on your list, but for me, knowing that Respawn is hard at work on a super cool Star Wars game that exists between episodes 3 and 4, and that they are targeting a fall 2019 release date with a title of Jedi Last Order, that was enough. I think that's really exciting. I love the work Respawn does. I think that Titanfall 2 was a wonderful mix of a great campaign and a really exhilarating multiplayer. I wish it would have sold more. I wish I would have put more time into it, because I did find it so darn fun. It just didn't seem to grab hold of a player base, even though it was of quality. Well, given the Star Wars license, maybe they can do just that next time around. And if they are able to bring in a really cool single player as a Jedi, lightsaber battles and all, this could be the hit of next fall. And I thought it was really fun that Vince Zampella got out there and announced it, even though they didn't have anything to show. Still, this gives me hope and was a very bright spot in an otherwise pretty ho-hum conference. So those are my top 5 moments of EA Play 2018. Number 5, Sea of Solitude, being this super cool EA original that emphasizes emotionality and the darkness that looms within while playing out as a platformer in a Limbo Inside art style. Number 4, being that Battlefront finally gets General Grievous, and whatever you think about the game, it's a pretty cool inclusion. It's been a long time coming. Number 3 is that Unravel 2 is out now, and it actually is really cool. The co-op and the 2-character action is a very awesome addition. Number 2 being the Anthem reveal, which looks super sweet. I'm super hopeful and excited and hyped for. I like that it's coming out in February. I just wish they would have shown more. I think they could have just really established what this game is and had a bigger demo and really gone out on why this is BioWare's best effort yet, and that stuff is still hypothetical at this point. And number 1, last but not least, Jedi Last Order, the promise of this epic Star Wars game from Respawn. Super, super cool. Let me know your top moment in the comments down below and how you felt about the conference overall. Until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the E3 action. I'll be there all week, and we'll be covering all the conferences. Plenty more gaming goodness to go. In the meantime, drink so much all. Thanks again. I love you, and we'll see you all later.